Hey guys, today we're gonna be doing very simple, very clean look. Let's name it Clean Milky Nails. And I could even name them soap nails because apparently this is what's been trending right now. But as we've already discussed, soap nails is basically just the simple nude nails. Nothing new about that. It's like a completely subtle and simple look, just the nude nails. But for some reason, somebody made it a trend and called it soap nails. If you know the reason why somebody came up with this or what's behind it, because I, to be honest, didn't have a chance to take a look at it. I mean the story behind it. If you know where it came from, you can share with us in the comments. That'll be interesting to know. And also something I wanted to mention here is that these nails is not my work. As you can see, they're a little bit bulky, and I personally prefer to make them a little um, thinner than this. First of all, again, as I've mentioned many times before, durability does not equal thickness. The fact that you make them thick doesn't make them durable. And retention equals the right architecture of the nails, the right structure of the nails, and the right materials. Yeah, you can see the huge blob on the tip, right? So right now the trend is to avoid that. We do not want to see these huge blobs right on the tip of the nail. It doesn't look good. It's outdated. Nobody does it anymore. And the key, what's the secret to keep them nice and thin, is to file them at the very end for this clean and sharp look. Okay? And also, something that I wanted to mention here, it takes me forever to take this gel off. First of all, and I truly believe, and if you agree or not, you can share it again in the comments with us. I truly believe that when somebody comes with their nails done in the other salon, you should take an extra charge for this. The reason why is, first, I have no idea who did it, what's their experience, what their expertise, what materials they used, and what's going on underneath. So again, taking off these nails took me forever. Usually it takes me like length like this and shape like this, takes me not longer than probably 8 minutes to take off, even less, because I know how I work. I know how thick they are, which they're not thick at all, and what materials I use. And when you have to take off this huge blobs of gel from the nail, it can take forever because you're taking them off, you're filing it off, filing and filing and filing, and there's still a lot of gel left. Okay? This is not good. And I mean, it's also obviously not comfortable for the client because the thicker the material, the the hotter it gets, and the client can get these heat spikes, which doesn't feel really well, just because you need to put the drill bit over and over again on the same spot to take this huge amount of material. Yeah, so I definitely recommend you to, if you're still doing something like this, like these huge blobs, that the right thing is that they at least have the apex, the highest point of the nail, about the middle, but it's really outdated. And another thing that is trending right now is apparently extreme designs. And these trending designs are the inverted nails. You know what inverted nails are? Honey.
Hello, everyone. No, what's an inverted nail?
So it's basically they take the tips and they place the tips upside down. So the nail goes from here and down. They glue it upside down.
For what purpose?
For fun.
Hmm.
Because, I mean, there's not much stuff you can do with those type of nails because obviously everything's gonna go under it and I don't even have an maybe for Halloween you could do something like that, or as we saw on like the red carpets people do it just for fun obviously, but it's not very practical. What do you think about that? Do you like crazy designs? Because you've been looking at a lot of nails by now. You edited all the videos and you've seen everything, like everything there is. You've seen everything.
Hmm.
What do you
No,
think?
no, I'm not a fan of crazy long shapes and weirdness. I think it kind of goes against my philosophy.
And what's your philosophy?
Well, like in ancient China, for example, they used to grow their nails, the noblemen, like really long, like pretty much like girls wear these days. And that was just to show that they don't work with their hands, to show that they're high class, high status. And I think of work as a positive thing, to build character, to build your dreams, whatever. So work for me is a good thing in my mind. And so when I see these really long nails where you can literally can't even pick up stuff to do anything with, it kind of goes against my philosophy. This, oh, I'm so fancy, I literally don't need to use my hands. And it kind of like turns me off. I don't know what you think.
As you can see, I with the husband like this, I wouldn't even be able to stay at home even if I wanted. Another thing that actually right now, can you move me a little bit? Another thing, or make me smaller, is that right now the trends kind of changed to like 180 degrees because right now to show off status and money, people actually do very nude nails. You know, it's literally called it was a huge trend. It's still trending, but people call it like a billionaire wife nails or something.
Nude nails. So
Nude nails.
it looks like you don't have anything on. Is that
Yeah,
how it is?
basically what I have right here. Very short, very clean, very subtle. So this again, soap nails, same thing. Billionaire wife's nails. This is what it is. So it kind of shows that the more money you have, the cleaner your nails are.
Hmm.
Something like that.
It's like you don't need to draw attention to yourself. Is that what it is?
No, it's just I feel like long and flashy nails might be considered tacky.
Mm.
And to show off class and money,
Hmm.
you would do something more subtle and more classy.
Okay.
And do you think that my personal preferences, and you know that I like short and nude nails, do you think that might have affected your taste as well?
Uh, I'm not sure, honey. I think my tastes are my tastes, and these
Of course.
scary claws are not particularly attractive to me as a man. I mean, it reminds me of like, I don't know, like witches and weird stuff, you know? Like growing up watching cartoons or whatever, like always, who has long claws like that? Like witchy women?
But you remember, I've changed my shape recently. I've had long almonds before
Oh,
for a
that's
very
not what
long
I
time.
meant. That's not what I meant. I was imagining these like nails that kind of look like wands or something. But yours are fine. Yours are beautiful.
My nails were very long.
Yeah, I liked them. They were fine.
Interesting. Very controversial. Okay. Another thing that apparently is viral on TikTok right now is red nail theory. Have you heard of that?
Red nail theory? No, I don't
Yeah.
think so. What is that?
Basically, it's something that's trending on TikTok right now, and people are saying that when you do red nails, it gives you that boost of confidence and like attractiveness. What do you think? Are you attracted to red nails more than like anything else?
So like color psychology, like wearing a red dress or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there could be something to it for sure. Colors effect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move you a little bit so we can see the
Good.
cuticle work there. Yeah, I think there's definitely something to the color psychology. I think colors do a lot. They draw your attention, or maybe avoid attention, or all kinds of stuff. So the idea is women do red nails to attract attention, or what?
So apparently it boosts their confidence. It boosts the confidence of the person who has red nails.
Okay.
And also attracts attention.
Okay. That sounds
So
interesting.
so red nails make you, I mean the girl, more attractive to other people when they have red nails. What do you think? So let's say I have these nude nails and let's say I have red nails. Do you think I would be more attractive with red nails as opposed to nude?
It's a good question. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Interesting. Interesting. There's a lot of opinions. It would be nice to hear yours as well, your guys. And another thing that I actually wanted to react to those type of videos where you can see that it's basically like DIY at home manicures that people do, and how do you call it? Compare them to the salon quality. Do you think you can learn something at home?
At home, watching videos?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you can see. Let's give a little moment to the cuticle work right here. You can see how stuck the cuticles are to the nail bed, and you can see how I gently but very firmly opening them up. And even if you see that the cuticles are so stuck that they barely move, you still have to open them up to push them up, obviously, because if you don't, can you move me a little bit? Because if you don't, obviously the manicure is not going to be clean, and the gel is going to run all the way down the cuticle, and it's going to be a mess. So when you see cuticles like this, like very, very stuck and laid over the nail bed, you have to work very thoroughly to push it all the way up. And sometimes, so I just use the cuticle pusher, the wooden stick, right? I just use the wooden stick basically. But if you feel like it's a little bit more challenging for you to use just the cuticle stick, and also don't forget to sharpen it over the file if it's not sharp enough, or you see those like ridges and unevenness on the wooden stick, you can sharpen it over the file. And also, if you think that it's too challenging for you to use it, you can switch to, there's a lot of different tools like metal cuticle pushers or whatever would be most convenient for you, because this is again one of the most crucial step of the manicure, because if you don't push the cuticles well enough, the manicure is failed. Yeah, as you can see here, the cuticle work very tricky, but if you do it right, if you do it with the twists and motions, step by step, you're good. And going back to the question of like different nails, different nails, different shape, and different colors, I feel like it doesn't really matter what you're into. The most important thing is that you feel confident and you like what you have on your hands. If you like the color, doesn't matter, black, red, white, or crazy green, or neons, whatever. If there is like crazy shapes, if you like it, doesn't matter who thinks what. I feel like whatever you really like and whatever you really want to see on your nails gives you that boost of confidence for sure. And my personal favorite thing is when people come from other salons with their nails. For example, like here, I mean, the work is not bad at all. It's just a little bulky and there's definitely a lot of room for improvement. And I personally like the worse the work of the other places, the more I love to do this transformation because I really like how people can actually see how big of a difference it can be. And that it's not that their fingers are like some of my clients say, oh, my fingers are so fat, my fingers are so short, or my the nails are so ugly, or something. So you can always make something really nice out of any shape, any length, any like on any type of nails. I truly believe that. Also, I wanted to say that we are hiring new nail techs. So if you have a lot of experience, if you love what you're doing, if you are experienced in Russian manicures, particularly, of course, and if you're looking for a super cool place to work with an amazing clientele in the best spot of Manhattan, you should reach out. Definitely. It's a really nice opportunity. Also, I have a lot of clients right now, and I'm physically not able to fit in all of them. So, I try to schedule them sometimes with my colleague that helps me here in the salon. Uh, but a lot of the times it's really hard to convince people to switch to some other nail techs because they're not sure if the nail tech is gonna do a good job or what's their experience. So, what is the right way? How would you be able to tell if the nail tech is good or not? First of all, obviously, they have to have a portfolio. They have to have some nice pictures to show off. Or, for example, when it's my case, I just tell my clients, well, she does my nails, which is true. And I trust her 100%. She is very experienced and you'll be happy with her. And if not, which hasn't been the case to be honest. So I would just go back to doing your nails. That's totally fine. Oh, guys, I will take a minute to complain on my husband about, you know what?
Hmm.
Do you have a guess?
What is this? What is this game? I know exactly what you're gonna complain about. What is this nonsense?
Okay, there's gonna be a little storytelling prior to the main thing. So, 6 months ago, I went to California and I saw my favorite plant there. It was all around the sidewalk, and it's oleander. And it was blooming. It was so beautiful, different colors of it. There was like a reddish, white, a pink, very, very beautiful. So I took a few stems of each tree and I brought it all the way to New York, which was a very long way because after LA, we went to Yosemite, we went to Lake Tahoe, and then to San Francisco. And I carried it the whole trip with me. And then I brought it to New York and I nourished it. I took care of them. I placed them in the water, and some of them started getting roots. And I placed those stems in the soil, and I took really good care of them. And one of them started blooming. And after a while, when I told my husband that we have this amazing plant, oh, look at this amazing plant, it is blooming, it's so beautiful, but it's toxic. So be careful and don't touch it. And guess what did he do? He threw the plant out. He threw it in the garbage.
Oh my goodness. He did? What a mean fish.
What a mean person. How could he do this? I don't understand. I was so pissed. You have no idea. I'm still pissed.
A poor innocent plant.
Poor innocent plant.
Yes. Well, it's interesting how different people have different versions of the story. Now, here's my version of the story. Now, my sweet Ilona Bubuov suddenly started to break out in rashes. She started itching her face was red, and she thought that a client had jinxed her. So she gave me her symptoms, I googled them up, and apparently oleander, this poisonous plant, basically causes all of her symptoms. And I did a little math in my head, and basically every time she touched the plant to water it, she started having these issues with her skin. And she's been complaining about it, and she's been miserable, and it's been bothering her so much that I finally decided, let me get rid of this poisonous, dangerous plant. And since then, look at her, she's fine. I saved her life. That's my version of the story.
Well, first of all, it has nothing to do with the plant, because I've had this plant in Russia for many years.
1 second. Different climates affect plants differently. And
Same plant.
And you had this plant for 6 months,
climate?
but you only started having issues once it started blooming. So, 2 plus 2 equals 4.
Okay, let's see.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure it wasn't the plant's fault. It was something else, because when I came here, I developed celiac. Now I can't eat gluten, and I've never had any allergies before in my life ever on anything. And now apparently I'm allergic to some stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like
Unfreaking
poisonous
believable.
plants.
Again, I didn't have any problems with anything before.
Yes, this is basically what every immigrant goes through. This type of mentality. First, the excitement coming to America, whatever, living your dream life. And after a while, you kind of realize you need to first have to work a lot. You need to struggle a little bit. You need to feel a little lonely because all your friends, all your family are left back in the homeland. And then you get this idea of, I gotta go back. And when you do go back, you realize that time has passed, people have moved on, people have changed, and you feel like, I don't fit in anymore in my old home. And you kind of feel like, I also got used to this American way, and I miss it, and you rush to come back again. And then you start setting roots and finally living your life. It basically, everybody goes through this. I've gone through it. My parents have gone through it. Ilona is in her process of going through it. I've seen it. I've lived it. So I understand it. And Hanchka, I'm here to support you.
Okay, I'm not even gonna comment that. No, I'm gonna comment that. So I've never had this it was my dream to come here to the United States for the most part of my life, but I didn't have my pink glasses on. What is that the right expression?
Rose-colored.
Rose-colored glasses on, And I never thought that it's going to be, oh, it's going to be so amazing. It's going to be so easy. Even though I came here with no money, I didn't have a place to live, no accommodation, no work, nothing. But for me, at that point, it was quite easy because I didn't have a job in Russia. I lost my job. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna lose anything if I try and move here. If anything, I can always go back. And to be honest, I've been considering if whether I want to stay here or move back ever since. Because this is not it's not the perfect place to live. There's a lot of cons, I would say. The only thing I really like about the United States is, guess what?
What?
The New York specifically.
What is it? Opportunity?
Yes, opportunity. If you are ready to work hard, which is not my personal life motto, I don't like working hard, but this is my reality here. Okay, because here in New York, if you don't work hard, you are not gonna survive. I mean, I know a lot of people who, who didn't lift the finger, who are just sitting on some sugar daddy's necks and they don't do anything and they're just enjoying life. And when they tell me, oh my God, do you see rats outside? Really? I didn't see a single rat here in New York. Yes, because you Uber everywhere. You've never gone down the subway. You haven't seen the real New York. Of course, what are you talking about? So living here, if you can accept that this is a very dirty city, it's not a safe city. You have to work really, really hard to be able to afford those $15 eggs and everything else that comes with it, then yes, this is the place for you. But I mean, I'm not gonna, I mean, of course, I would be able to stay here for, as long, but this is just, I feel like the life gets sucked out of me slowly, but firmly. It's a very tough city to live in. It's a grinder. I would prefer to live a much more comfortable life. At least move to California, where it's much more chill, it's much more laid back, and people are more relaxed. And I feel like I wouldn't say happier, that's probably not the right term, but I would say people in California are more mindful, probably. Yeah. So I would love to move to California one day. I would probably have to leave my amazing husband here because he wouldn't want to move to California ever. Right, honey? Or would you? What do you think?
Nah, I don't think so.
If you become this great, not if, when you become this amazing producer, you can live wherever you want. Why stay attached to New York?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what else is new?
Do you see how I'm sitting? If we take a look at the bubble here, do you see how my head is leaning forward and down? This is because the angle that I'm working at is not right. Oh my goodness. And also look at the shoulders. They're pointing up. So I'm pretty sure when I was done with these nails, my back was falling off and it was so painful just because the posture was not right. So what I recommend you to do, and I have to take this advice myself, is first of all, the shoulders must be always down. And the client's hands that are right here, they need to be lifted on the level of the eyes. So the head would be straight as opposed to leaning forward. So that would be a nice tip. because you can see when you're pointing down, and keep your shoulders up, it's a very bad idea for the back muscles, and it's going to be very painful, and there's going to be a lot of tension. So definitely I recommend you to get either a nice comfortable chair that can go all the way down and be very low, or an adjustable table like the one that I have here, but I don't unfortunately adjust the length of it as much, because when I do the manicures I get carried away, and I forget to adjust the height of the table. And if you have an adjustable table, or if you get the adjustable table, you would be able to move it up and down, and to kind of adjust the level of the client's hands, and to be able to see the hands like this, as opposed to do this, which is
Do nail products have famous brands?
do what?
Like the nail products, polishes, and all those stuff. Do they have like famous brands? They're like number one, number two, number three. What are the top brands in this industry?
Polishes?
Or anything else? You know, drill bits, files.
Well, I can only speak for the Russian brands. I'm 100% sure there is, at least for now, that there is nothing top quality on the US market when it comes to drill bits. There is nothing as good as, for example, as I know of on the Russian market, 100%. And I think it's pretty much the same when it comes to anything when we talk about Russian manicure, because American market is not, to be honest, I would say it's not developed yet.
So you buy most of your products overseas?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Mm.
There are some, let's say, there are Ukrainian brands that you can get here in the United States, but obviously it's much more expensive than if you would have gotten them in Ukraine or in Russia.
Mhm.
So I personally, I have the whole collection of Ukrainian gel colors for the brand named Fox. They're really good, and I like almost all of their products. The quality is really good. There is another one that a very popular brand that represents themselves as like a hypoallergic, I think, because they are like free of some chemicals. But another thing is, first of all, they're very expensive, and then when you think about it, all the gels are made with chemicals. If there is a substance that gets baked or cured in the lamp and stays on your nails for a long time, you have to realize that there's chemicals in it. Nothing is chemical free, okay? So it's all just marketing. It's all made pretty much with the same thing, okay? So don't really trust. But another thing is that if you use like a very low quality product, like let's say something that you get from China, some polishes, right? This can cause damage, actually. Yes, for your nails, because the products that they use to manufacture those nail polishes is a very low quality and very cheap. So that's never a good idea to use something as like a low quality as that, for sure. But everything else, I would say, is pretty much the same. Let's roll nail away a little bit here.
Can you tell us what are your favorite brands in the beauty industry? Or I guess maybe in fashion?
In nails, maybe? No?
Specifically
general?
nails? No, just in general.
Brands of what?
I don't know, fancy purses or what do you rings? What are you into? What do you like?
Not really. I used to be focused a lot on the brands when I used to live in Russia because everything, you feel like everything there has to be flashy. It's a Russian thing, I feel like.
Mm.
But here, people are so easygoing. Nobody cares. I walk like a homeless person here. I don't care about my style. I walk in sweatpants, and I feel like it's a normal thing. As opposed to in Moscow, when I used to go out, not only go out, when I went out for in the grocery store for the groceries, I used to dress up nicely just because it's kind of in the culture. And you have to look good because this is something everybody does there. And here nobody cares, and I feel kind of relieved.
Hmm. That's a big change, honey. So
Why is it a good change? It's just the change.
I said it's a big change.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes. So you're not
Okay.
mm. So you're not like fawning over new purses and stuff anymore?
Oh, I like new purses. I love new purses. But I finally do understand that I do understand that if the purse is well made and it's real leather, it's just as good as any like brand purse that you would pay thousands of dollars for. I definitely don't like the culture of like mass market, something that you can like a purse that you can get from Amazon. That's definitely not my cup of tea. I prefer something like good quality, like one thing, but if it's a good quality. It doesn't have to be like a huge expensive brand. It would be better to have something like that, like a Chanel bag, right? Because it never loses its price. But if it's real leather, if it's nice and stylish, I would go for it as well, for sure. But that really changed when I came here. I definitely didn't have that type of mentality back in the day.
Yes,
And
and I
also,
can
you always make fun of me that I like all these brands
I
and like
no
expensive purses.
no. I don't make fun of you.
You literally make fun of me. Oh, is it your $2,000 fancy purse?
That was just something new to me, but that's interesting, honey. You've changed a lot. I noticed.
Right? Maybe it's your influence.
Well, you're not so. I'm not sure if it's me or maybe just this environment where you can have anything, literally anything you want, and you realize, oh, it's not really gonna fill this hole, right? It's not gonna make you happy. It's just stuff
It makes me happy, literally.
for like a few minutes and
But it's
for a day.
life. Why do you get stuff at all? Just because you feel good about it.
Sure, but
Why
I
do you
mean,
get new
like,
clothes? Why do you get like, I don't know, basically anything? Just because it makes you feel good
I'm
in
not saying
one way or
I'm
another.
not saying don't get stuff, but like you don't have that like oh that's everything mentality anymore. It's just stuff. You get it, you use it. That's it.
So I never thought about it like, oh, that's everything. I need to get it. Because, there are some people, and I knew those types of people who they made, let's say, we made about the same amount of money, but it's not enough to purchase like a BMW car, okay? And some people used to buy all these fancy, super expensive cars, and at the same time, they ate like the, what do you call them? Like the instant noodles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I never had the mentality like that because I felt like, well, I wouldn't say it's stupid, but it kind of is. But at the same time, if I had the money, why wouldn't I buy like a nice Louis Vuitton bag? Of course I would.
Hmm.
So here I feel like another thing is that because you're used to working hard and working a lot and making money, and you realize that you can afford pretty much anything here. So let's say this Louis Vuitton bag is not a big deal anymore for you. But at the same time, you kind of not realize, you kind of think, do I really need it? Is this something that, I mean, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna buy this bag and it's like $2 for me. No, it's not like that. It's affordable, but it's still kind of a big thing. So now you think, do I really want it, or is it something, can I use can I use my money more wisely? Maybe invest it in business, or invest it in studying, or like self-improvement, anything, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think some of it has to do with marketing? Like,
For example, one second, do you see this amazing, super cool, beautiful Bulgari ring? Who wouldn't want that? And also, it's a snake, and I love snakes. By the way, one of the consultants that I had for my business profile, she suggested me, she was like, what is it with snakes? And I'm like, what do you mean? Why do you have snakes? You can see at the logo that right there in the corner. Why do you put it in the logo? And I was like, well, I like snakes. And she's like, well, this is personal. I'm like, yeah, there's no like hidden meaning behind it. It's just like snakes. I like Medusa, and like that's the kind of the became the logo. And she was like, you have to get rid of it. It's no good. People don't like it. And I do understand that it might be repulsive, right? Repulsive to some people. But I mean, if I like it and I want to see it, maybe, and I'm kind of trying to get in the right spot to kind of feel what would be good for the business and what is just my personal preference. Because if this is something that would be repulsive to people, to the level where they would, they wouldn't want to watch my content or come to the studio, of course I would change it, and I already did, because I feel like that might help to, for the growth of business. But at the same time, I'm not really sure if that actually matters. What do you think?
well, I personally like the logo. I think it's kind of,
It's unique. It stands out and is beautiful, in my opinion. There is nothing scary about it. I mean, it's just it's nice and stylish, I feel like. And it's the pink background that makes it safer in a way, you know?
yes, but I also feel like it's like there's some symbolism in the logo and it's kind of deep, I feel like, because it's for beauty stuff and it's Medusa and the hair is like, like these tiny snakes and stuff. Kind of like perfectly, um, I don't know, reflects the beauty industry or like the women's mentality. Like when women kind of always think, oh, I gotta make myself pretty and stuff like that. I'm without these makeup or whatever, with this and this, I'm kind of hideous or whatever. But it kind of like touches on that insecurity, but also it's cute. I like it. It makes sense.
Honey, that's a very, very nice interpretation. I love it.
Mm.
Which for me personally, that's not why I created it. It's just something that I really like. Yeah, and that's it. That's the like the hidden meaning behind it, which is like no hidden meaning at all. So going back to that Bulgari ring, right? Of course, I would love to have it. I mean, it's super. Oh, look how amazing it is! I just love it so much. But I mean, hopefully, one day I'll get to the point when I'd be able to afford it, just like that. You know?
Mm.
Yeah, that would be nice. Of course, I would buy it. What are you talking about? I mean, it's dozens of thousands of dollars, but who wouldn't want it?
Mm. Do you think when you have all these things, they're gonna lose their meaning?
No.
No.
So when I still again, I dress like homeless here, right? But when I'm dressed nicely, when I have the nice outfit, nice makeup, hair, nails, all my jewelry on, I feel totally different. It gives you the boost of confidence for sure. It makes you feel different. So this is what it is for me. So I like all these little accessories, all these like little things because they really make me feel different. They make me feel much better.
Okie doke. So, where are we now? We're doing some drill bit work.
Yeah, so this amazing girl that I have here, my client, first of all, she, as you could already tell, she doesn't always come to me because she travels back and forth. She always travels, she goes to different places, and she doesn't always have an opportunity to come see me. So sometimes her nails are messed up. She also likes to pick on her skin. So you can see that some fingers have this little super dry and hard patches of skin on the sides. So the drill bit work might get a little tricky because it might look that I go too deep on the sides with a drill, right? For example, like here. But the sides are already so deep and so patchy and so dry that I kind of have to go this deep in order to clean it whatsoever. So you definitely, if you're doing nails, you definitely have to adjust all of your techniques to specific needs of the client and to specific um, nail beds and skin for sure. Yeah, let's admire the ring. One of my most favorite rings in the world, for sure.
Hmm. So, honey, what else can we talk about? Let's
I would talk about how hungry I am and how excited I am to come home and to cook some nice, yummy food. It's 2:22 p.m. What a cool, interesting number. The number of angels. Synchronicity. And I haven't had anything in my mouth yet. I'm so hungry, you have no idea. Last time I ate was yesterday at about the same time. So I haven't eaten anything in 24 hours. I'm starving. So I can't wait to come home and to cook some amazing, yummy pasta. I'm so excited. Oh my God, my mouth is watering right now as I'm thinking about this yummy meal.
hmm. So you haven't eaten in
Yeah,
24
one
hours?
second. You can see here, right? Oh, one second. Here. Do you see the side? And it feels like, oh my God, it's so overworked and over drilled on the sides. But the reality is when people pick their skin, right, on the sides here, they usually go, and you can see the hangnails, it's also because of the picking. They go so deep and they pick the skin so deep in the nail that that area that attaches the nail and the skin, it gets kind of opened up, which causes this deep like craters and like deep holes. And this is definitely what you should explain to your clients that pick nails, that it's very dangerous to pick on the skin. That is very well, it's dangerous to pick on the skin at all in general, and it's also dangerous to pick on the skin that's very close to the nail because it in future can cause a lot of problems. Okay, honey, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Yes, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. All I think about is food. Give me some food.
Do you do intermittent fasting?
So I used to do it because that really helped. You know the autophagy, right? Is that the right word in English? Autophagy? Esophagy?
Yes, autophagy. It's when your body cleans up
Yeah. So this is something I told my husband years ago.
damaged cells. Yeah, I was trying to
Yes.
remember.
I told about autophagy to my husband years ago. And he didn't listen, and he thought that that was a complete BS and it didn't make sense at all. But once he saw this video of an amazing doctor that said the exact same thing, that it's a good thing for your body and you should do it once in a while, he finally got enlightenment. He finally believed it, and yes, it's true, I have to try it, and it's so amazing. And I was like, yo, I've been telling you about it the whole time. And I've been doing it myself as well. Although I should mention that if you have any like health problems or anything, it might not be beneficial for you. I have thyroid problems, and it might not be safe, but I still like it because it makes me feel better. So I kind of listen to what my body says, and if there's something that might be a little bit controversial, like health wise, but I still feel like it's beneficial for me, I would still do it. So this is something that I do. And also here, I gained so much weight, even though I'm eating much less than in Russia, that I already eat once a day here, and I'm still gaining weight. So I'm definitely not eating any, more than once a day, for sure.
So what is autophagy?
You already said that. It's when your body eats its own
Damaged cells?
bad cells, like dead or damaged cells, and cleans itself.
Okay. How do you get to autophagy?
By intermittent fasting.
How long?
So you told me that it has to be like a few days, but a few days can be dangerous for some people. So I feel it's very individual. For some people, it can be a few days. For some people, 16 hours is well enough. Also, I feel like it depends. I feel like it depends on your routine, on your health routine. First of all, if you eat healthy, if you work out, if you keep a very, very healthy lifestyle, you wouldn't even need intermittent fasting, okay? But if your body and if your health stayed in such a bad condition, for example, you eat fast food, you don't move at all, you don't do any sports, you don't do anything, and you work like crazy with no rest, then probably intermittent fasting wouldn't even help you, I think.
I think
I feel like it's a complex of things. It's all things combined.
yes. Well, I actually lost, I think, how much did I lose? 40 to 60 pounds with fasting in like a month.
40, 60 pounds?
Was it 40 or was it 60? I don't remember.
Wasn't it 30 pounds? Which is still a lot, by the way.
So I was like 240 pounds, maybe, yeah, around 240. And I think I dropped to 195. Yeah, 45, 40, 90. Yeah, about 50 pounds.
But the thing is that it's not healthy. It's not healthy to lose this much weight in such a short term of time. It can be dangerous to the body. It's considered healthy to lose around 2 or 3 pounds. I know kilograms, like 1 kilogram a month is a healthy weight. So your body is not put in the stress, and it doesn't think that you're starving, and it starts building up the fat again.
But here's the thing. Healthy, like who says? Because I don't trust these medical doctors and
Yes, but
surveys.
you trusted the doctor who said that autophagy is
But the delivery is important. He explained it with his own blood work,
explanation doesn't matter.
with blood work, with
The
experiments, with charts. And but listen to this.
ChatGPT can do you tell everything to ChatGPT, it creates a whole bunch of charts for you, and you can be very convincing explaining everything to people.
One
You know,
second.
like back in the day, the marketing was so crazy that doctors promoted cigarettes as the healthiest thing to do. And people, of course, trusted it because it's doctors.
Yes, now they promote cereal for breakfast as a good thing, but apparently it's
Yes,
terrible
because
for
they're
you.
being paid by those sugar factories.
Right. So when they also say it's not healthy to fast, I'm not sure if I trust them so much because,
You can't trust anybody. You have to do your own research.
right, or
That's the thing.
experiment on myself.
Well,
So-
that's what we do every single day.
And what
When we
if I-
consume all these foods that we get in the groceries that we don't know how they were produced, how, what conditions they came from, it's literally an experiment on yourself.
But I would say also stopping yourself from like trying different things because somebody said that it might be bad for you might not also be the best thing. What if I lose 2 pounds a day or 3 pounds a day? What's gonna happen?
It's not healthy for your body.
Well, a change is healthy sometimes if you're already in an unhealthy place. You probably
Yes,
need
but
like a drastic change.
you shouldn't put your body in the stress, because right now, because we live in New York, we're not living somewhere upstate on a farm. We live in New York, a highly technogenic city with so much noise, so much noise, so much pollution, that our body is by default in stress. You don't want to put yourself under more stress by this crazy, 3-day fasting.
You can get to autophagy without stress, without fasting.
Exactly. 16 hour of fasting is already stressful for the body. Enough.
But it doesn't work like that. 16 hours is maybe enough to burn off all the glucose in your body, but it's not enough, I think, to shift to burning your own fat.
You burn your own fat if you eat healthy and you don't overeat. That's how you burn fat.
Okay, Dr. Ilona.
I've been on this lose weight journey since I was 9 years old. I've tried so many diets. I've tried every single diet that exists in the world. So I know a lot about like what's good and what's healthy and what's totally unhealthy.
Okay. So tell us about the pasta we're gonna have tonight. What's the plan?
About what?
Pasta?
Oh my God, it's gonna be so yummy. It's gonna be a creamy mushroom sauce with some chili pulled chicken. No, I can't even speak about it. I am so hungry, guys. You have no idea. And by the way, we're almost done with the nails. You can see here, well, you see how thin and nice nails, it's the natural nails, right? How thin they are right now. So I'm not gonna put too much product on in order for them not to be bulky, like, the last manicure that she had. So keep in mind that the right architecture, the right structure, and the right product would still keep them durable and provide this nice retention for 4 weeks.
You mentioned that the client travels a lot.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of clients like that travel?
A lot of clients. Some of them, well, I have one girl who permanently lives in Miami, and she comes to New York once in a while. And one of the things that she does here is nails. So she always comes to me for the nails. And obviously she can't do nails with me like every 3 weeks. So sometimes she does in Miami, and she always texts me, "Oh, I can't wait to come to New York to do my nails with you because it's horrible." And there's a lot of clients like this who, because of work, because of crazy schedules, or because they travel a lot for work or for pleasure, they can't come to me all the time. So sometimes they do their nails elsewhere. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. So I just work with whatever I have, whatever I have.
Okie doke. So what are we doing now? Are we gonna apply color now?
Yeah.
Milky
You can
base?
yeah, it's an amazing milky. So I'm using the liquid ochre gel, which has the hard gel properties, but at the same time, it literally says in the name liquid. It's very nice and runny, so it distributes evenly and fast throughout the whole nail, and it looks nice and is very durable. Also, I've done a lot of renovations here in the studio, in the space. I'm turning one of the rooms in the uh, warehouse slash break room slash sterilization zone, because I've upgraded my autoclave, and it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be nice and cool. If you're interested in seeing like how it turned out, because I've just ordered everything. Some of the things came, I've assembled some of them. By the way, assembling stuff and like painting the walls and all this carpenter construction work, I love it. If I weren't doing nails, I would probably be in construction, because this is something that brings me so much joy. I just love it so, so much. And my husband hates it. If I had all time in the world, I would probably be, what is the occupation?
Occupation for what? A handyman?
A handyman? Yeah.
Then,
Maybe I would be a handyman, a handy woman.
where you would like assemble furniture and stuff?
Yeah. I love assembling furniture.
Sounds
I mean, it's like meditation. It's so easy, and at the same time, as you can see, I love working with my hands. So, and I'm pretty good at whatever I'm doing. So whatever I do with my hands, I'm pretty good at it. So I assemble stuff, I do manicures, and yeah, I think I would be very, very good at it. I like painting walls, like whatever the work in a house. I really love it. So maybe one day I will like learn how to do it professionally. Maybe get my construction license. That would be cool, I think.
a lot of heavy lifting in that profession.
Oh, well, I wouldn't lift things.
Okay.
By the way, my grandma is, I would say, a certified, what do you call, what do you call this occupation when you paint walls and like ceilings and like even out the walls and you lay the floor? What do you call it?
I forget.
So yeah, I think it runs in the blood. So I really love doing it. And as you can see here, the gel is super, super runny, which makes it super easy to distribute and level it super fast. And also what I like, another thing that not a lot of people actually know or notice, that the thicker the amount of gel you put on the nails, the the bigger heat spikes you get in the lamp. So the thinner the material, the reason why the thin elastic base that you put before putting the color base or the hard gel, why it doesn't burn, it's just because it's a very, very thin amount of product. And once you put more product, once you build up the amount of gel on your nails, it burns and you get those horrible heat spikes sometimes. So another reason not to build up too much product on is to avoid those horrible heat spikes and to structure the nails well. Yeah, but another thing why it can be burning in the lamp and why you can get all those horrible heat spikes might be that the nails are too thin. I had one comment saying something like, oh, you dig too much in the nail, just soak the gel off. But it's actually interesting because when you soak off the gel, you detach the gel from the natural nail completely. But you detach it to the point that the dorsal layer of the nail, the very first layer of your natural nail, detaches with the gel. Okay? Because once the gel stick to the nail, it's stuck together so well that when you remove it completely all the way, you remove the part of the natural nail. So that's why like good technicians leave a little bit of the gel on when removing, and you also saw it when I removed the gel that she had before. I left a little bit of the gel, like 10% of the gel, just because we don't want to thin out the natural nail. So keep your 10% of the gel on the nails, and the nails will stay healthy throughout the whole time. And you wouldn't need to like get a break for the nails to breathe, because the nails don't breathe. Okay? Another huge misconception. Oh, I need to give myself to give my nails a break to let them breathe. Nails don't have pores, okay? Nails is not like skin. Nails don't have pores. They don't breathe. You can take a break, but it's just the break. It's not the break for breathing. Okay. Now we're putting the top coat on and we're almost done. And remember, when we put the hard gel on, we never ever put the hard gel right under the cuticle. This is one of the most popular questions that I get asked. Why is there such a big gap? How do I avoid this huge gap between the cuticles and the hard gel? Why can't I put the hard gel right under the cuticle? And I'm like, well, you can't. I mean, you can. You actually can. But this would be a very common thing that causes lifting. First of all, when you put the rubber base or elastic base on the nail, the hard gel shouldn't go over that rubber base, because if it gets, it's gonna be lifting 100%. Then, if you let's say you put the rubber base right under the cuticle, and then you put the hard gel right under the cuticle, and let's say I would want to put like a red color on top of it, right? So it would be 2 layers of the color being put right under the cuticle, and then there would be a top coat. So it's how many layers? 5 layers of product being put at the same spot right under the cuticle, and imagine how it's gonna grow out. When it's gonna start growing out, the step is gonna be so big like this that it just wouldn't look good. And what you want is the stepless growing point. So it feels like there is no step whatsoever, and like natural nail kind of blends in with the gel. This is the effect that we want to achieve. That's why we only put the top coat under the cuticle, not anything else, because only this will allow us to have this amazing smooth transition between the natural nail and the cuticles.
Okay, looks like we have 6 minutes left.
You didn't need to say it. Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we've changed the setup a little bit. So uh, now we'll be able to shoot the nail content and this reaction content right here in one spot. So okay, that's enough. Go back.
So how many days a week do you work?
I work every day. Well, I take clients some of the days, and the other days we come here and make content.
Hmm. Do you have a client waiting list? Tell us about that.
Sometimes when I mean, what is it? What is there to tell? The
Well,
waiting list is the thing that if the client wants to schedule for a certain time or day, and I don't have a space there, I just put them on a waiting list. And if the spot gets available, I let them know and we do their nails. That's it.
okay. I thought maybe you have this huge waiting list with lots of people waiting for, I don't know, to try to get in, because there are only so many clients you can accommodate personally. No?
There's so many clients of what?
That you can accommodate personally. How many clients can you handle on your own?
I don't really take any new clients anymore. I'm pretty booked. So whenever there is anybody who wants to schedule with me, I have to schedule them with my colleague.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also nice, guys, because I mean I do the exact same work. Obviously, I wouldn't hire somebody who does worse than me. She does an amazing job. She takes her time. She's attentive to details. She's very nice, and I highly recommend her, of course. So there's totally nothing wrong if somebody can't schedule with me, they can schedule with my colleague, which is totally fine. And don't forget that I'm looking for another nail tech. So if you're good, if you're really good, sometimes people reach out, and when I ask them to send me their portfolio, and they send me these horrible works, I'm like, did you even go on my profile? Did you see the quality of the nails that we do here? Why would you even suggest that you would be a good fit? I really do not understand this. So, yeah, if you are really good, if you're experienced, if you're nice, and you love working with people, then you'll love it. You'll love it working with us here, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And here, finishing touches, I've already filed all the excess gel from the underneath, and now I'm just filing the edges for this clean, sharp, nice look. And you can see how thin the nails are, even though first of all is the hard gel here, right? So hard gel doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that's going to be thick or it's something different. I mean, it obviously is different from the natural. I mean, it's different from soft gel, but just in terms of the material properties.
Okay. So Ilona, what would you say as a business owner? What can you offer for a prospective employee?
You have to go louder. I can't hear you.
Well, what do you have to offer for a prospective employee from your end? What do you provide?
Well, good conditions, high checks. If you work well, if your clients are happy with you, you'll get raise of price, so you'll get more money. There is training that we provide, so you would stay up to date to all the tips and tricks and everything that's new on the market, all the new techniques. And I mean, it's just a really nice environment to work in. Again, I'm not looking for somebody who just wants to do it for the money, okay? I'm not looking for that type of people. If you just want to make money, you should look for another nail salon for sure. I'm looking for somebody passionate, for somebody who is very, what do you call it? Forgot the word. Anyways, if you're passionate about what you do, if you want, okay, that's it. Just passionate about what you do. Okay, that's enough.
Say thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining us on this video, and I'll see you in the next video.
Right.